Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Heal the Unicorn talk. So today I have Bethany on with me, and we decided we are going to talk about meditation, and that which is one of the best ways and that you can heal the inner unicorn that so many of us are struggling to to allow out, to embrace, and to embody and live as. Because living as yourself, as your beautiful, magnificent unicorn self, is challenging. It really is, because everyone has an opinion about who they want you to be. And especially if people are if people have known you for a really long time and all of a sudden you decide, okay, now I'm going to be myself, and you come out as yourself, it challenges a lot of relationships in your life where everyone is like that you people that know you, they'll be like, well, who is this? I don't know you. Go back to who you were. I was comfortable with that person. I don't know this person, right? So that is one of the greatest challenges for all of us unicorns who are coming out and embracing ourselves and living as ourselves. And meditation, I kid you not, is one of the best ways to heal that, and also to uncover a lot more and to learn to be in the moment and accept the truth. And the truth is, this is you, and she's not going anywhere, or he's not going anywhere. So embrace it. And if people are going to judge regardless, so why not allow them to judge the real you? That way you at least get a real trial, right? And then if they don't like it, then you can comfortably and confidently say, well, you don't like it, that's fine with me. I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna find somebody else who does like me, who does want me in their life, because they are living as themselves as well as their unicorn self. So, the I have been meditating myself. Geez, I think for 4 years now. Not every single day, because there's been months where so this summer I actually took off about 6 months of meditating. I did not meditate for 6 months because I went in a little too deep with my uncovering of my past, and the snapshots that I got from that past were a little traumatic for me to to really see and feel, and it was a little challenging. Um, so what about you, Bethany? How long have you been meditating?
I've been meditating. Well, see, I started my yoga journey about a year and 251 days ago, which I did meditating here and through it. But every day it's be 363 days, almost a year as of March 26th. Thank you. I'll be meditate. I meditate every day. So almost a full year, but so it's hard to project exactly how long I've been meditating for, but on a regular basis, like I said, almost a year. But it goes in with my yoga. So yeah, I mean, almost 2 years.
Hmm. Okay. Now I want to also ask you. I guess let's kind of go back to the beginning. What is your understanding of meditation?
Meditation, well, for me, it helps heal, like you said. It helps uncover. It's brought a lot of self-awareness. It also helps me center and kind of just be at one, like you also said, be in the moment. I tend to meditate throughout my day. So my favorite type of meditation is Kundalini yoga, which is meditation with yoga with like mantras and mudras and all that. But I also do a shower meditation where I put on meditation music, and and I just be, and I don't really think about anything but being grateful for the water that's in the shower. I also do an affirmation meditation where there'll be a certain phrase that I just repeat over and over and over again, or like a mantra also. And also I like guided and guided meditations, and then being mindful, like the mind, not mindful, but like, when you're just quiet in the mind. I guess mindless. I can't think of what it's called off the top of my head.
Mindfulness. It's like
Yeah, mindfulness. Yeah, yeah. And that one is always relaxing. But I don't know. For me, meditation is just all about healing. It's part of my self-care. It brings balance.
Mhm. That's what meditation really is. Like, meditation is something that allows you to connect with yourself, with your inner self. That's the goal of meditation, is because the world is so loud and it's so noisy, and one of and we it's very distracting. So
Yeah.
it's and we can sometimes lose ourselves in that world, in that, you know, in that hustle, in that bustle, in that fight, in that struggle, and we forget that the world that we're living in is actually the world that's happening on the inside of us. So that's what meditation is. It reconnects ourselves with ourselves, so we start to pay attention and become aware of ourselves and become aware of everything that's happening on the inside. The that's really the goal, and the key is to reconnect with yourself and pay attention to your body, because your body is always speaking to you. It's always telling you what's going on. It's always telling you let's say if you're struggling to make a decision what to do, what the right thing to do is, your body is there telling you what to do. And sometimes we can misinterpret that and instead listen to the ego, right? What is, and the ego comes from a place of, I must win and I must come first and everybody else is second. Whereas you yourself, as a being, you would not want that. You would want everyone to be happy and joyful, and to feel be connected with everyone. So, and meditation, and what happens in meditation is, once you start going in within and connecting with yourself, the key, like I said, the key is to tune inside of yourself, whether it be paying attention to your breathing, right? Focusing on your breath, whether it be paying attention to the blood flowing through your body, right? In ways of how you can feel your pulse. For women, they should be feeling their pulse on their left hand with the right hand. And for men, it's with their left hand on their right wrist. And the reason for that, I can actually read it from this book. If anybody's interested, there's a lot of great information in this book that I've been reading called, I don't know if you can see, Change Your Schedule, Change Your Life. Really, really great book. So it says, in Ayurveda, we associate the left side of the body with lunar energy and the right side with solar energy. Women's bodies are more in sync with the lunar cycle, in that their hormones fluctuate every 28 days, which is why they should take their pulse on the left wrist. And so you can either take your pulse. I personally have a difficult time feeling my pulse. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, am I alive? Right? Because I don't feel my pulse. And I'm like, struggle to find it. And it can feel really frustrating. And he has like how to do it, like with your fingers here. And I'm like, and I'm trying to like listen like this, and I can't. So instead, what I like to do is a Wim Hof breathing technique, where when there's a time where you hold your breath. So when I'm holding my breath, I feel connected to all of me, and I can feel the blood moving through my body, and I can feel my, like, I'm hearing my pulse. That's the way I would describe it, without me struggling to feel it on my wrist and then feel, like I'm failing. And I don't know about you, but for me, that's not a very fun feeling. I don't want to feel like a failure. I want to touch my wrist and be like, oh, there it is. Yeah, I feel it now. I feel it now, but most of the time I don't. And even like sitting with that, you got to really pay attention. And I guess what he's saying in this book is that is the key, to really tune in and pay attention and sit with yourself. But the frustration part, it is temporary, because the more we tune in, the easier it will become.
Right.
Um,
I kind of get that with the Kundalini yoga for me, because
Yeah.
it's like you have to, like, yesterday I was doing a meditation and I just sit like this. Oh, yay, I'm doing it today. And last night it was kind of hard to do. And I had to sit there and be like, hey, it's okay. I know you're not doing exactly how she's doing it, but and yeah, and then you have to have your elbows kind of down and like your pinkies in like this.
Your thumbs?
Or I'm sorry, thumbs. Thumbs in. Yeah, and you have yours like this, and it's like really like it breaks up like stuff in your arms and in your wrists and your hands, but it was for to beating exhaustion. And it really helps. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Oh, I believe that. I mean, I can feel it like in my wrist over here.
Yeah, exactly. That's where
because I'm like this is easy, but once you put the thumb in there and I'm like, ooh, like almost like a pinch in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And meditation, like Bethany is saying, is not just sitting down, and because this is why I get this all the time, where people say I can't meditate because I cannot sit still and just sit there and do nothing, because I feel like I'm not being productive. And I was and I still am one of those people once in a while. So this is where I wanted to share what he says in this book. And then there's different types of meditation, that it's not just sitting down where you think you got to sit down in this lotus position with your feet crossed on the floor and be so uncomfortable, because I've done that, and for me that's not comfortable. I like to have support on my back, and I like to lay down as well to be more open. But so he does talk about the sit down meditation, where it doesn't have to be crazy long. It can be, I mean, I don't remember if he mentioned the actual time, but I know it can be as like, it says for a few minutes every day. So that's why I said he didn't mention any time. So it can be 2, 3, 5 minutes where you just sit down and, like what Bethany was saying, use a mantra. You can use a mantra. He says, like, the mantra that he's sharing is Om mantra, which those that are curious to what Om actually means, it means being present and connected to the field of consciousness. I don't know about you, but I was a lot more of that in my life. So let's Om away.
Oh, I love, and with Om, it connects with your third eye, and then the silence after it connects with your crown chakra. Just a little tidbit that I learned on it. Yeah.
And it would make sense, because the consciousness comes through the third eye, right? You become more conscious and aware and awakened. And then he also says, use words such as peace or joy. Avoid using words that are too loaded with meaning for you. The word love sometimes is a very loaded word, because we associate the word love with so many things in our life. So you can use one word or a sentence. I also like to use I am statements, especially when I am feeling heavy and dark. That's the way I would explain it, where I'm just feeling down. I would use I am statements. So I am love, right? I am peace. I am equilibrium. I am uniqueness. I came up with an acronym for the word unicorn. So this is what I also follow, and I follow the actual acronym myself to remind myself, because, and I know I challenged Bethany as well to come up with her own for that. And all of you that are listening or watching, I would love to have you come up with your own as well for the word unicorn and then share it with us. Oops, my dog just dropped a big picture, my gremlin poster on the wooden board. It just almost fell on top of her. So mine is I am uniqueness, and I'm looking to the side because I have it on my vision board. I am uniqueness. I am non judgment. I am intuition. I am consciousness. I am open mindedness. I am responsibility. And my favorite is I am nirvana.
Mine, I love that. That's beautiful. Mine is that some of them are a few the same. I am unique. I am no limits. I am intuition. I am compassion. I am open-minded. I am radiant, and I am nature.
Mm, I love that. And nature is you are, or you are nature. We are
Right.
all nature, right? Yeah, that's kind of like the Yoda speech. So, and then he goes in, sit comfortably, like I said, because the goal is for you to be actually comfortable. If you're not comfortable, you're going to constantly be pulling yourself out of it, and you are less likely to come back and do meditation again if you're not comfortable, because then the assumption that will follow is a meditation is uncomfortable, so therefore I don't want to do it. Gently close your eyes and breathe, right? You can just focus on your breath. Some people don't like to do the mantra, or sometimes when I am in a very heavy place and like feeling really overwhelmed and dark, then I can't even like think of these I am statements. To me, that's just, it's too much. So what I do until I'm able to think of them and to embody them and allow them in, because I feel that resistance. Until that resistance is gone, I just focus on my breath. So just breathing in and out until I'm calming. Because what happens with breath, when we calm our breath down and slow our heart rate, it calms the system down and it lets our body know that we are safe. And that's the other thing. You can also just say out loud or in your mind to yourself, remind yourself that I say to myself, I am safe. And especially when I have that flare of anxiety or anxiety comes and won't leave, I remind myself, I am safe. I am okay. I'm here. I'm alive. I'm breathing. Like, and then usually right after that, I'm already like, I feel so grateful for just being alive, and for being here, even if there's crazy things happening in my life as well, right? Just because people, and that's the other assumption that so many of us have, just because people have beautiful pictures on their social media and they have these awesome, great videos that they do, does not mean that their life is perfect and nothing, nothing happens behind the screen. There's a lot happens. And we just don't go broadcasting everything that we're all going through.
Yeah.
So, and then repeat your mantra, right? You repeat your words slowly because you're not trying to rush through it. You're already rushing through life. That's enough. Meditation is your time to slow down. So slow down your thoughts. Sometimes you can repeat a word over and over again. If you have a mantra and you just, for example, I am uniqueness. You can say, I am uniqueness, and then uniqueness, like echo almost, right? And you can have fun with it. Don't have to be like stiff and proper. You can have free range or free go at this. And then after approximately 15 to 20 minutes, you can use a timer if you want. You can stop repeating the mantra and continue sitting with your eyes closed for a few moments before you get up. So when you're done, right before you're done meditating, you can just
Yeah.
stop it and just be with yourself in silence. That can be also scary for people as well. And I say that because it was scary for me, to just be in silence and not pull for a distraction, not, find some kind of noise to fill the silence up. And then the next one is movement meditation, where Bethany was just talking about Kundalini yoga. That's an active yoga, but that is also a meditation. So again, meditation does not mean you sit still. You can move. move around, because like I also said, he does say it in here that some people have trouble sitting still because they think they aren't accomplishing anything. That was me and is still me. Okay, I already said earlier, I'm pretty sure that sometimes I'm like, I feel restless. That's the way I would describe it. When I start to feel restless, I'm like, I can't sit down and do a meditation. I gotta go move and go somewhere. So in that case, you can do a walking meditation. Have you tried that one, Bethany?
I have, but what I do for my walking meditation, instead of just one phrase, I have this, it's kind of like, I'm not sure what to call it, I guess, but I'll just say it for you. I haven't really said it out loud to anyone, but it's kind of like, I want to say it's like a magic spell in a way, I guess, the more I think about it. So I'll walk around and I'll say protection, peace, love, hope, joy, courage, blessings, love, health, gratitude. And well, let me just finish. So I say those things, and I say starting at my mailbox, to my telephone pole, to my driveway, and then to the street, to the fire hydrant, the sidewalk. There's like a big sign, kind of, to the big sign, to the driveway, to the big tree, the three bushes, the amazing woods, the amazing neighbor's fence, the sidewalk, the street, the driveway, and back to the mailbox. Protection, or now I'm losing. I say this every day, but supported. I am supported. Man, now I'm losing my train of thought here. But anyway, so then I'm saying supported, and I go into love, blessings, and health radiate from my this property out to everyone around me, those that walk by, drive by, fly by, and energetically pass by. And then I go into saying, may all be happy, healthy, cool, calm, collected, safe, secure, supported, love, bravery, courage, abundant, prosperous, wealthy. And may I be happy, healthy, holy, cool, calm, collected, safe, secure, supported, love, bravery, courage, abundant, prosperous, wealthy. And then I list a bunch of stuff that I'm grateful for. And I do this while I walk around in nature a lot of the times. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I say this every day, and I was like, like I think maybe nerves got to me. I haven't really told anyone about it. So, but it helps center me and helps bring gratitude. And then I feel like it helps brings cleanliness and all those things I said to around me and energetically pass by to everyone.
Mm-hmm. It almost sounds like you're also getting clear on your world.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The world that you are living in, and the world that you want to continue living in, by reaffirming all of these words that create feelings and emotions.
Yeah.
Right. That's what I hear. Now, with the walking meditation that he talks about here, is you take a walk outside, perhaps in nature, and instead of ruminating on all that you have to get done, because I know a lot of us are doing that, or all of the conversations you would like to replay that you've had with people or want to have with people, instead, just walk and breathe. It's another way of silencing the mind. And what Bethany shared is actually really great when you have a very busy mind and your mind jumps to one thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing, and you don't want to think about the conversations that you had or you're about to have. You don't want to think about the things that, your to-do lists, the checklists, all of these things. You don't want to worry about the past. You don't want to worry about the future. You want to be in the now. So you can distract yourself with these positive, affirming words that you want to breathe life into your own world. And then you can just admire the trees. You can, some people like to talk to trees, or through thought. You can talk out loud. By all means, go right ahead. Some people might think things of you, but that's their problem, not yours.
Exactly.
right? Don't take it as your own. Um, and you can walk in silence, just, admire, or you can show gratitude for everything that's around you, for the trees, for the clouds, for the wind, for the rain. If it starts raining, instead of, oh my God, my hair, it's gonna get ruined. I know that was me for a while there too. And I'm like, what happened to me? When did I become so uptight where I became scared of getting wet outside and started becoming more concerned of what people will think of me if I jump in this puddle while it's raining, or you know what I mean? And I see this as well. I see it on my partner sometimes, where we'll go for a walk, and in our area there's some invasive trees. So last year they cut off these trees, the invasive trees, and some of them are like, they're small, and our son, he takes one of these trees and he drags it behind him, right? And my husband says, just put it down, put it down. You're gonna get, people are gonna look at you and they're not gonna like it. You can hurt someone with it. I'm like, dude, just relax. Let them carry a tree. If somebody says something or they don't like it, it's their problem. Why are you making it your own? You're jumping into the future that might not even happen. Let him be a child. He's not gonna, like, he's going to get that in his head later. Why now? So let him do it. And then of course he's like, okay, fine. Then you deal with it. Okay, you go ahead, right? And I will deal with it. He just carried it. And the thing is, if you don't look people in the eyes, if you don't observe people, you're not even gonna know if anybody's watching and making their own assumptions and interpretation and judging.
Right, that's true.
That's something that they will be living with, not you. And
Yeah.
so don't make that eye contact if you don't want to. You can feel that before you look at a person.
Yeah, and I notice a lot of the times, like, no one is actually like making an assumption about you. They're thinking about what they have to do or what they're doing at the moment. So a lot of the times they're not even worried about what your kid is doing or what you're doing also.
Yeah. And I understand where my husband is coming from because he was raised that way, to be proper. But, and I've told him before, because I'm not shy about it, being proper is boring as F. And I don't know about you, but I do not want to live a boring life. I want to enjoy my life. And if that means jumping in the puddle, if I feel like doing it, I'm going to do it. If that means getting in not the swamp, but we have this like little dirty river, not dirty, but it's just really mossy, full of greenery and frogs. So some people call it dirty, and then see, I'm using somebody else's words. If I want to get into this frog-festered river with my kids and catch frogs, I'm gonna do it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not gonna care about what other people walking by think, because then it's gonna be my kids, me, and my dog. Let's just do fingers like this. And the four of us will be there enjoying our life while everybody else is living in their own bubble, and really just creating a catabolic energy in themselves by judging. So while I'm being in the moment and I'm experiencing joy and having fun, these people can walk by and judge all they want. I don't care. I don't need it. They're not part of my life, and they never will be. So I'm not losing anything. But what I'm doing is I'm actually gaining such an experience that I will remember and my kids will remember, because they will remember mommy getting in this frog festered river with us and catching frogs and playing with us.
Yeah, and how much fun it was. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what they will remember.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah.
we'll remember a mother saying, oh my God, get out of the river. You're so dirty. You're so filthy. You wet. What are people going to think of you? Like shame and guilt and shame and guilt. And it's like, oh my God, why? Kids are not meant to be proper.
Yeah.
They're wildlings.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
why break the wild? Why take the wild out of them and tame them?
Exactly. Yesterday, me and Uri were playing outside, and he's all, let's pretend we're animals. And in the past, I would have been like, oh gosh, well, there's neighbors out right now. No, we're not doing that. We'll go inside and do that. But I was like, oh yeah, let's do it. So he's all, let's be a monkey. And I was like being all like crazy outside and being a monkey. And he's like, be a lion. And like we were doing all these things. And afterwards, I was like, wow. look at you, adding these fun experiences without limitations. And another thing I like doing a lot, and I'll do it with Uriah sometimes, is during winter when like puddles freeze over, I like to walk on them and like hear the ice crunch and like see, yeah, and see like how it sounds like, and then see if I'm gonna sink into the puddle. I love doing that.
Yeah.
It's so much fun, like hearing that crunch, like, and like seeing the ice like kind of break and like split. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
really appealing.
It is. It's satisfying. Like that crack of, ice. I do that even when I'm not with the kids. And
Yeah.
I'll go, I mean, we don't have any more of that now. Everything melted. But in the winter, I'd go with the dog and I see, you can see that there's air underneath the frozen ice. And I would jump on it or I will walk on it and, be a child. And some people will be walking by and like, right? Of course, people think, oh, she's probably a teenager because, if you act like one, you must be one.
Hey, but at the same time, it's like, look, oh, I'm not young. Nice. You think I'm not young? Yeah, I agree with you. I love doing that too. And I'll find myself outside when it's winter and doing that and just like laughing and like giggling, like, I'm just like, oh, this is so much fun.
I just came up with a little experiment that I encourage everyone to do because I know I've done this before without really realizing. Look at people in your life that you have in your life and see which ones that kind of like carry that childlike personality where they like to have fun and they're happy and they're joyful and they will do silly things like that. And then look at people in your life that are the opposite, that are proper people and you must behave and you must do things like that. Now that you have these people in your mind, how old do these people look? Do they look their age or do they look younger or do they look older? That's a little experiment that I've done and I've recognized that all the people that are stiff, right, living in the box and you can't stick your hands out of the box because they'll get chopped off, they typically look older than they are. And those people that are jumping on ice and breaking the ice and enjoying life and jumping on puddles and catching frogs and playing animals and making animal noises outside in their yard, those are the ones that look younger than they actually are. But don't just take my word for it. Do this little experiment or little test or what is it called? Research yourself and just think about it, right? And see how does that sit? Because I've heard this many times that we all have the ability to unage ourselves, to make ourselves look younger and feel younger. And meditation is part of it, but it's also the way that we're showing up in our life and in everybody else's life as well. So allowing that inner child to come through is actually one of the reasons why that childlike face stays there.
Yeah.
Like, I know there are many people, and there's in some days, and this is the other thing. Some days when I feel down, I look older and I feel older. And if I go to a store like LCBO, I won't get asked for ID. And then other days when I feel like I'm a child, I get ID'd, and I'm like, dude, I've been here all the time, but thank you. Thank you for seeing my day.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm almost 35 years old and I still get ID'd. Used to annoy me in the beginning.
Yeah.
But now not so much. Now I'm like, oh, thank you. Here it is. Are we the same age?
Yeah, I that's interesting you say that because I used to never get ID'd. And then as I started going through personal development and getting in touch with my childlike nature, I get ID'd all the time now. They're like, let me see your ID. And I'm like, oh, thanks. Okay. I'm hitting my 30th birthday next month. And I'm like, it's cool because I'm like, wow, I look younger. Like, oh,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
And we can do that. And you started meditating and doing yoga, which really increases the blood flow and you get connected to yourself and then experiencing joy and allowing yourself to act like a child outside and not be so fearful of judgment. Just because you're doing these things does not mean that that fear of judgment is not there, because it's still there, even a little bit. But by pushing through and being brave, because it wouldn't be bravery if we weren't scared, if we weren't uncomfortable, you allow yourself to feel like a child, act like a child, and look like a child.
Yeah.
Right? As we're young, we're always rushing to get older. Like my daughter, Mommy, do I look 13? How do I look? I'm like, you look like you're your age. Why are you rushing? Right? And I want to question that, why she's rushing, because it looks appealing on the other side, being an adult, but there's a lot of responsibility that comes with it, which it comes as a shock to us. Eventually, in the beginning, it's fun, but then eventually it just feels like such a heavy burden to carry. Then we just want to go back to just being a child and enjoying life. And like, oh, why did we rush it? But we weren't rushing it. We were trying to, speed ahead. And in his book, he says, like, when you're walking meditation in Japan, walking in nature is sometimes called forest bathing. And its powerful sense, it says, the powerful sense of peace you can attain by walking among the trees. And yeah, so it lowers. So it says the Japanese government has spent millions of dollars on research documenting the positive effects of forest bathing on the immune system and its ability to reduce stress, inflammation, and even blood pressure. So that's just not only meditation, it's also a healthy exercise where you get to go outside and walk and enjoy nature. And then people who struggle with anxiety and perfectionism, me, or more like anxiety used to, but once in a while it still comes and visits me to check in on me, to make sure to check in how I'm doing. And then I tell the anxiety, like, I'm good, thank you. You can go back to where you came from, I'm good. But perfectionism, that one is tough to work through. And then taking a walk outside in the nature is one of the best way to take the edge off these really emotions and feelings. Gentle movements like yoga, which is a form of meditation, and Tai Chi, which encourages you to move and breathe using specific forms. And it's a powerful way to gently build and discipline of self-awareness. So Tai Chi, right? Yoga stretches can put you in touch with small and large muscle groups you haven't thought of in years. And I know, Bethany, you have said, I've discovered some muscles that I didn't even know existed because my body hurts in places. That's exactly it. It stretches your body in ways that helps you to get in touch with parts of yourself, like muscles, that you might have never known were even there because you've never felt them until yoga. And that's actually one of the things that scares me of yoga. Not gonna lie. Because I used to go to yoga and hot yoga, and also people go for different reasons, right? But the goal to go to yoga should be just to connect with yourself and with your body. And yoga does allow that. But I used to feel so sore, like I ran a marathon after a yoga, and my body would hurt in places that I didn't even know was possible to hurt. I was like, oh my God, really? Like, how? But at least it made me aware of those parts of the body that I normally would not have ever become aware of if it wasn't for yoga.
Yeah, I agree. It brings that unity to your whole system.
Yeah. And then the next one, which I haven't started reading, is journaling as listening. So I know, for example, when we meditate, especially longer meditation, that there's might be some thoughts and some ideas and some creative. This is where we can tap into the creative geniuses that we have inside of us, and having a piece of paper or a notebook and just journaling is also very helpful. Just journaling itself, exactly.
What I'm doing right now, yeah.
But journaling itself is another form of meditation where you just take and you get everything out of your mind and you journal and you get that out of your system. I don't particularly enjoy writing and because my mind moves too fast for my hand and it's frustrating and it can cause me anxiety. I've learned and I've heard that doctors say that people that have messy writing, they're very fast thinkers and the hand moves too slow for them, right? So I'm like, exactly what causes me anxiety. So I don't particularly like that. So my way of journaling is through video. I know I shared it with Bethany. Some of you that follow my channel might have already noticed. I might have already noticed that I started doing journaling series where I instead of journaling and writing down, I hop on and I really just journal out loud for everyone to kind of get a little more insight of the mind and also the struggles sometimes that I face, which I mean, they seem very small. And to some people, they might be like, oh my God, what is she talking about? That's nothing, right? You don't even know half of what I go through. But it's not about you. This is my journaling, right? And for me, that little struggle can be really huge. Just like with other people, some people they can break their finger and the whole world comes to an end. And other people in their life be like, oh my God, just a finger, get over it. But as a core energy coach, I get just how challenging that broken finger can be physically, mentally, and emotionally, and that it's not just a broken finger, that there is a lot more to it. Because if we feel like our whole came to an end over a broken finger, then I really get curious as to what is happening on the inside and where is that really coming from, because it's not over broken finger. That is just more like a symptom, and digging in deeper allows me as a coach and the client to potentially then work through it and recognize what else that might be happening. And yeah, so nothing is just too small.
Right, exactly. There's always that root cause behind anything, and when you dig deep enough, like that's like why I like journaling. It's like I like to call it word vomiting because I'm just able to like put it all out there, and I'll journal in my actual journal or sometimes on my phone. I'll just start typing stuff. If I'm having a rougher day or a challenging day, I like to journal it out. I'll just write everything that comes into mind and just put it all in one spot and then reread it. And then I'm able to be like, oh, okay. And I kind of, that's when I start working through stuff more. And then healing comes from it.
Yeah. And when I say that I don't like to journal or write, I don't actually mean that
Right.
I never do it. I do, but it's not very often that I will like write a lot, but once in a while I do. And typically I like to do like point forms just to get everything out, because just writing a sentence or a couple of words, it allows me, I already know what it means. And if let's say a year from now I look back at it and I don't know what that means, well then I wasn't meant to remember.
Right.
Right. So I'm going to continue reading this book. Right. I have read maybe a quarter of it.
Nice.
Yeah. I was reading it at the hospital while waiting to be seen with my daughter. And yeah, there's a lot of great stuff in here as I flip through it. And part of me is like, I don't want to know that yet because I want to figure everything out with up until now what I've read or what to do with it because this is really great information and I've already started embodying it and that's what this is how I approach books, especially physical books. I highlight and I keep reminding myself the things that I actually want to have in my life from what I've learned. So one of they shared the three things that if you are planning on changing your life, these are the three things that you should basically do. If you do nothing else, just do these three things because there's quite a bit that they share. The first one is get to sleep at a set time every single night, ideally by 10:30. So that way you're in bed and your body starts going through its own cycles that it goes through, especially the brain. That's the first thing. The second thing is eat your largest meal of the day at noon, which, not gonna lie, it's been challenging. But this is the reason why I did not read past this until I incorporated that into my life when I was ready. So it took me about 2 weeks to get to a place where it's part of my life now. And it wasn't right away when I started implementing it because there was resistance to it and I had to work through that resistance with my coach to help me to understand where it was coming from, right? So that way, because if I really want it, then why am I not doing it? Why am I not having it in my life? And that just means that I really don't want it. And if I did, then what's in my way? So getting to the root of that. And then the third thing is exercise first thing in the morning. Now, I don't do vigorous exercising. My exercise is more of the mind and then just slowly stretching and moving my body. So once I was able to do these things, then I would get past it. And that's how I typically like to read the books. Because if it's an audiobook, I will listen to the whole audiobook and then be like, and then I'll do it when I feel like it, when I remember. And that's the difference between physical book and an audiobook to me.
Right.
An audiobook is like a story and it's great. But physical books take a while to read because I'm taking it that much more seriously. And I don't highlight everything in the book. Like on some pages, I don't even have anything highlighted at all because to me, it's just information, but fillers. And the most important information, that's what I highlight that I want to remember or that I want to share with someone. But at the same time, it's mainly for myself to remember later so I can flip through it and I know exactly what it is. And by just reading that specific sentence, I know what the whole paragraph or the whole page is about because then I can remember and I can recall it. And it's crazy coming from me because I used to say to myself, and not just myself, but people used to tell me that I have horrible memory, which is not true. It's just selective memory. Right? If you want to remember something, you'll find a way to remember it. So for me, it's one sentence that will help me to remember, if not everything, but the most important parts of that page. And that means that's all I really need. I don't need anything else.
Yeah, I agree.
As we're getting close to the end of our time here together, I'll be hopping on my webinar a little bit later while the kids are here. I feel like, and I know I've been talking most of the time, but I wanted to hear your input on everything and anything, meditation, mindfulness that comes to mind.
Well, for me, I always start my day out with meditation. I do my affirmation meditation, and then it goes into like a mindfulness meditation. And then I do some yoga as well. And that's how I start my day every day. Because I notice that it helps center me and it helps me just get ready for my day. And it, like you're saying, like with exercising in the morning, well, that makes sense now. But let's see. I just noticed it's really helped calm my mind, because I used to suffer from having extremely overactive mind. And you can kind of see by some of the stuff that I say that I do, like with my active meditations, like when I walk around and I saying those different things in my mind, because I'm able to focus on that one thing instead of going off like, oh, well, what about this? Or what about this over there? You know, what's happening in this part of my life? Or I need to work through this, you know, it just helps center me. And some people need that because they have that more active mindset where they need that focus.
Yeah,
And
like
that's also
myself.
why, yeah, and that's also why I do my mantras. A lot of the times I have certain mantras, and I think I've said it before in our podcast, that mean different things. And I also do them aligned with the chakras that I do for my day. So today is the sacral chakra, which is your second chakra, and that's where your creativity lies. But I say hung sa, and that means, you know, releasing, letting go, because a lot of the times in that region, in that second chakra, you'll hold on to old emotions that are no longer serving you. And then also for my root chakra, and then my the solar plexus. So the first, second, and third are all the hung sa. You go to the heart and the throat, and that's Om Shrim, which is abundance, meaning I want abundant love, abundant, you know, abundant everything. And then I go into my third eye, and then also love with everything. But my third eye, which is Sat Nam, which is being connected to your true self. And then the crown chakra, which is the seventh one, Wahe Guru, and that's being in tune with your wisdom, with the wisdom of the world. And those are some mantras that I say depending on the day it is. And that's the one, like when I'm having a really overactive mind, I will just repeat it over and over and over again. And then I do all the other stuff that I mentioned throughout this video, as well. But it all, like I said, it just helps bring unity to myself, and just helps bring some peace and calm and the clarity in my mind. Because like you were saying, like with anxiety, like with you, like that was really strong for me. And that's how I got started with meditation and yoga, was because of the anxiety. And it was been told to me, you should try this, you should try this. And after a minute, I was like, okay, I'm going to try it. We'll just see what happens. And here I am today, you know, still doing it. So just from self experience, and then also hearing in that book about changing your schedule, it's changing your life, a lot of these things align with what I do in my life. It just kind of brings clarity to it all, and it's like, oh my gosh, that's why I am the way I am now. It takes practice, and practice makes progress.
Yeah, because the goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to progress in our life towards a better version of ourselves. And the goal is not to become the perfect version of ourselves, because the only perfect version that exists of ourselves is right now in this moment. Whether you believe it or not, you are perfect the way that you are right now. And I know for some people it may be challenging to hear and allow that in, but I'd be curious to find out, where is that resistance coming from letting yourself believe that you are a perfect version of yourself right now, that you are the best version of yourself right now, even if even if it might not be fully true, but it is the truth. Like Bruce says, that there is a difference between true and truth. True is what people have said over years and generations to generation. True is what other people might say and think of you. But is it the truth? No, it's not. Because the truth is a universal truth. And the universal truth is that you are perfect, you are unique, and you are a unicorn. You just forgot that you were, and that forgot that you are, because somewhere along the line, somebody told you you're not allowed to be one because it made them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, challenging that can be challenging.
Definitely.
Allowing yourself to be yourself in spite or despite that it might make other people uncomfortable. That is the hardest part. And that is the hardest part for anyone, whether you're building a business or not, whether you're going to a full-time job or not, whether you're a stay-at-home mom or not, whether you're a pet owner or not. It's still challenging showing up as yourself and allowing yourself to be yourself without finding different ways of how you can conform and blend in and not stand out.
Yeah.
But that is not living. Like, it's not living. It's being told and dictated of how others think you should be living your life.
The thought of being a robot comes to mind. Like you're
Yeah.
just living in that, like, all right, this is how it is. I can't think of the exact word that I was trying to, like, the programming. Like
Yes.
you're just going with the programming. But meditation and like yoga and journaling has got me out of that programming to where I'm like, I can program my life the way I want it. What? Ooh, yay. And it's exciting. And
Yeah.
it's got me back to that childlike mindset to
Yeah.
where I wanted to be in the moment and just enjoy everything. And meditation also brought gratitude, a lot more gratitude to my life as well.
And isn't that a much funner and more exciting life to live
Oh
on
my God.
your terms?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on today. I know we started a little bit later because we wanted to have a little chat and get a lot of things off our chests because we're living in a war of information. There's so much information out there, and it can be challenging. And in order for both of us to show up as our full, best, authentic selves for everyone who's listening or watching, we needed to work through our own things and, release it and let go. And I
Yeah.
encourage each and every one of you that if there is something unsettling going on the inside, find someone to talk to that will allow you to have a safe space to do that. Whether you might be lucky to have a friend or a family member like that, or a coach in your life that can help you with that as well. It's important um, to get that off your chest, to get that out of your system. In Christianity and almost in all religions, I don't know all religions, but from what I understand, in all religions, you have the ability to go and confess your sins, so to speak, and that is a way to unburden yourself and take that out from what you're carrying and release it, because if you're not talking about it, then you're holding on to it and you're carrying it with you, and it's a baggage, and it becomes really heavy to carry this baggage. So open that bag and start releasing, start talking about what's in there, right? uh, there's going to be things that will be uncomfortable to talk about, but only for a moment. In that moment, and what happens in that moment, we're like, "Oh, I don't want to talk about it, scary," because we feel like we're going to die if we do it. But I'll ask you a really stupid question that I know is going to follow by a stupid answer. Are you really going to die if you say what's on your mind and what's in your heart?
No.
No. No.
Yeah. And is it going to matter an hour from now or, a year from now? Like, is it really going to matter? Or are you going to be grateful and just be like, oh my gosh, I'm healing, and work through the shit,
And then in the end, you can remind yourself, I survived that. Oh my God, I'm alive. I didn't think I could do that, but yet I did. What took me so long to get that off my chest? I mean,
Yeah.
I hear that all the time from people and myself as well. What took me so long to talk about it and to share? Like, what was I really scared of?
Yeah.
Judgment. Do judgments kill? No. They just kill the ego. And guess what? I don't particularly enjoy my ego with me all the time. I like a little bit less of it. I don't want it to go away entirely because it's great. I love it. It has benefits.
Definitely.
But I don't want it to control my life. That stops me from, fully living or living to the fullest and following my big, scary dreams as
Well,
myself.
that's why, right. And that's what the ego, that's where those scary dreams become possible, because that's where your uniqueness lies and your self-love lies. And without that, you wouldn't have those big scary dreams that, one day aren't going to be scary anymore, because you're going to be like, oh, look at me. Woo. Pat on my back. Yeah.
Exactly. One day I'll be the same. I'll say the same thing. What the hell was I scared of? What took me so long? Why didn't I unburden myself then? What was holding me back? Really, what was holding me back? Same thing. This is the baggage that I currently carry with, my own fears of success, my own fears of failure, or success and then followed by failure, because, seeing it happening everywhere. And then a lot of what ifs. And I mean, what if? Then what?
Right. Yeah.
I don't need to worry about it now. I'll deal with it when it happens. So, anyways, I hear my children now walking like horses right above my head. I don't know if you hear them or not.
I can't. Yeah, but they're home. They're like, Mom.
And they're like, oh, my son is usually the first one to come in, and he lets me know that he's home really loud. So that's what he just did. So again, I want to say thank you, Bethany, for coming on and sharing your wisdom, sharing your knowledge, and sharing your experiences, all of it. And
thanks for having me. I love our chat.
Yeah. I love our Wednesdays, and I love our Tuesdays as well.
Yes. Hi, Mila.
Hi. Yeah. So thank you, Bethany. Yes, and this is the dog excited with the kids being home. And thank you everybody for listening and for watching. We shall see you next episode. Yeah, these are episodes. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah,
Netflix.
I know.
Right. You never know. Maybe one day.
They'll have to edit the quality of these videos. But why not?
Right. All righty. Well, until next time, thank you again for having me.
Yeah. Thank you. And thank you everybody for watching, listening. If you like what you saw and heard, please like it and share it with your tribe, with your people, or maybe a specific person, because we were talking about mindfulness, and we all have someone in our life and meditation, who can benefit from meditating, mindfulness, and learning about how to reconnect with your inner child. Bye. See, I got my everyone to say bye like that now. Yeah.
I love it.
So
yeah.
Thank you. And if you want to stay in the loop and be the first one to know about when these videos get uploaded, then subscribe to my channel. And until next episode, thank you.
Bye.
Bye. And bye, Bethany.
Bye.